A singer named Zhao Maiqi once asked a strange question, one that later turned out to align eerily well with details surrounding Yu Menglong's passing, details that continued to circulate widely online. Spiritual mediums and tarot readers soon offered their own interpretations. Several suspected figures were said to have faced karma, yet the most dangerous person, according to these readings, might be someone else entirely. Recent entertainment rankings suggest that 2025 has become a year of reckoning for the industry. From old wounds surrounding Gao Yixiang being reopened, to shocking casting scandals involving top-tier directors, to celebrities falling, so far they're forced to publicly demand unpaid wages, like day laborers fighting to survive. This isn't just the collapse of an industry. This is the darkest hour before dawn. Today, we begin uncovering a blacklist of shadows, one filled with power, secrecy, and forbidden desire. Hey guys, Sean here. It's really good to finally be talking to you again on Trey Zero. Lately, especially here in 2025, the entertainment world has been flooded with tragedies, strange moments, and stories that leave people with more questions than answers. Some of them look like coincidences, but others feel a little too perfectly timed to ignore. And in today's video, we're starting with a single, seemingly harmless post. One that slowly pulls us into something much darker. Because you never know how deep this hole goes.
回馈之下，于朦胧不差，换了位置，全网炸锅了。
Do you remember that period when Yu Menglong was going through trouble? Back on September 9, singer Zhao Maiqi posted something on Weibo that left a lot of people confused. In a follow-up comment, he wrote that his company's office was very close to the performance venue. He then encouraged people to cause a scene at the company, before heading to a place he referred to as the excavation site. So what exactly was this so-called excavation site? Not long after, online sleuths pieced it together. It turned out he was referring to a performance venue and nightclub located in Beijing's 798 Art District. It looks like a pretty basic invitation, but shortly after, he posted a selfie from his hotel. The weird part? The reflection in his sunglasses showed something that felt off. What's even more chilling is that netizens recently did a deep dive and found something disturbing. Right after posting that photo, he suddenly asked a question online. If you have nerve damage and feel numb, how do you recover? This sparked theories online questioning if Yu Menglong had been subjected to some kind of inhumane treatment before the incident. Some speculate he might have been injected with a neurotoxin, similar to pufferfish poison. They say as little as 0.5 grams of this stuff is lethal, causing respiratory paralysis within just 20 minutes of injection. People on the internet are starting to ask, was Zhao Maiqi's post about nerve damage and numbness actually a hidden reference to what happened to Yu Menglong? To this day, the many red flags in Yu Menglong's case have never been met with a truly convincing explanation. That's exactly why, even though the official report chalked it up to an alcohol-related accident, so many netizens refuse to just let it go. It's not that people are just looking for drama, they're demanding a truth that actually stands up to scrutiny. At this point, I have to ask you guys, do you think Zhao Maiqi's post was just a coincidence, or was he trying to drop a hint about something bigger? With the official channel staying silent, many fans and netizens have turned to spiritual mediums and tarot readings in search of answers. While there's no way to verify if any of it is true, the picture they paint is far too dark to simply ignore. A British psychic named Tai Walian recently went viral for a reading that sent shockwaves through the internet. When he tried to do a reading for Jackson Yi, his spiritual guides from the other side abruptly stopped him. They warned him not to go any further, claiming that he has been possessed by a demonic entity. He mentioned that Jackson Yi might have signed a soul contract, perhaps even a blood pact. This is no longer a matter of fate or destiny. It's looking more like a sacrifice in some kind of occult ritual. He even suggested that the way Jackson Yi was stacking stones during his live stream was actually a ritual intended to suppress or trap someone's soul. And then he issued a chilling warning. She mentioned that Jackson Yi, despite being linked to these dark forces, might actually be the next one to be sacrificed. She claims those around him want to use death to sink him, just so they can step in and take his place. Aside from Jackson Yi, there are others on this list as well. One of them is the person who took him to the hospital. Word on the internet is that they disappeared for a while and fled to Yunnan. The tarot reading suggests that she might have reached the end of the line, silenced by the mastermind pulling the strings. It said that only in her final moments did she realize she'd been betrayed by the person closest to her. The second person is Fan Shiki. Rumor has it that during a live stream, his behavior was deeply unsettling, almost as if he was being possessed by something. It's not that people are just looking for drama, they're demanding a truth that actually stands up to scrutiny. At this point, I have to ask you guys, do you think Zhao Maiqi's post was just a coincidence, or was he trying to drop a hint about something bigger? Meanwhile, regarding director Chen Qingsong, the tarot reading shows that he's been completely isolated. He couldn't even make it to his own film's press conference. Instead, he's stuck at home, staring at his phone and stewing in silence. His close friend, Tian Hairong, has also been on edge ever since her private life was exposed. Now, word is she's trying to do damage control by using paid bots to flip the narrative. If we don't step back and look at the bigger picture, we might mistakenly see this as a tragedy that belongs to Yu Menglong alone. But if you look at Yahoo's list of the top 10 entertainment figures of 2025, you'll realize that the entire year was shrouded in an aura of death and goodbyes. First, there was Barbie Hsu. She passed away early last year from flu complications that turned into pneumonia at only 48 years old. She had been so exhausted throughout her life. She had only just found her way back to Meteor Garden, and no one expected her story to end that way. Then there was Khalil Fong, the brilliant musician who also passed away in February after a grueling 5-year battle with illness. Even actor Yan Zhenguo, famous for the Young and Dangerous series, who had turned his life around to become a director, lost his fight to lung cancer. Meanwhile, Shen Yulin had a close call in the ICU, though luckily, his condition stabilized after that. Wang Delu hit rock bottom after getting dragged into scandals involving the underworld and draft dodging. Then, Jiang Zuping went public about the harassment she endured. Between all that and the loss of Yu Menglong, it felt like all the misfortune of 2025 just exploded at once. Hey everyone, before we dive into the video, we want to announce that we're launching a brand new segment called Trace Your Story. For this segment, you can send us a real-life story you've experienced, from horror and cheating to crime or any other true story you have. Send us your story at Sean Varel, traceyourstory@gmail.com, using this format. Email subject, trace your story. Story title, your title here. Tell us your experience in as much detail as possible. Feel free to include any supporting photos or evidence if you have them. Optional contact, your WhatsApp number or another way we can reach you for more information. Don't worry, you can absolutely send your story anonymously if you prefer. We'll do our best to create a video and tell your experience. I'm really looking forward to your emails, and who knows, your story might be the very first one featured on Trace Your Story. Don't forget to submit your stories. I'll be waiting and can't wait to read them. At this point, we need to look back a little further. The tragedy that befell Yu Menglong is a haunting reminder of what happened to Gao Yixiang a few years ago. Deep down, both cases share the same root cause, a blatant disregard for human life by big capital and production teams. Recently, a new witness has come forward in the Gao Yixiang case to expose the truth. Even though years have passed, the details coming to light are still enough to make your blood boil and send emotions running high. According to the whistleblower, he was just sitting there, casually snacking on melon seeds. This was a human life. But in his eyes, it was probably nothing more than a minor, inconvenient hiccup, something that didn't even matter as much as the seeds in his hand. What's even more chilling is that, according to the leak, Gao Yixiang had actually passed a physical right before filming. All his vitals were normal. But after eating the breakfast provided by the production crew, he suddenly started feeling unwell. And the most heartbreaking part, once he collapsed, the production team failed to provide any immediate first aid. From the suspicious death of Xi Xiaolong's assistant to Zhang Jie collapsing from oxygen deprivation, followed by Gao Yixiang and now Yu Menglong, this is no coincidence. This is a trail of death in the entertainment industry built on blood. To those at the top, these artists, even the biggest stars, are nothing more than cogs in a money-making machine. If one breaks, they just replace it. And even when they are broken, they still try to squeeze out every last drop of value. If what we just discussed was a matter of life and death, then what comes next is the most grounded reality in showbiz: survival. You might think only blue-collar workers have to chase down their paychecks, but these days, even actors and directors are taking to the internet to demand what they're owed. Just recently, actor Yu Qingbin posted a video and said something that was absolutely gut-wrenching. Guys, I'm not even joking. His pay for 2 different drama projects has been withheld for 3 months now. At first, the producers claimed the streaming platforms hadn't released the funds yet. But later, even after the platforms paid up, the producers had the nerve to say, "Go ahead and beg, even if we have the money, we're not giving it to you." What kind of twisted thug logic is that? The person owed the money has to crawl like a servant, while the one who owes it acts like a king. And it's not just the actors. Even the directors are having to scrap for their paychecks. The director of the 2 projects Yu Qingbin starred in also spoke out, revealing that just to get paid not only for himself but for his lighting and camera crews as well, he had to jump through endless hoops in an incredibly exhausting process. From the Mayday Bridge scandal to Yu Qingbin's public outcry, chasing down unpaid wages has become an annual tradition in showbiz. This points to a grim reality. The industry's cash flow has dried up. The bubble is finally bursting, stripping away the glitz to reveal the ugly, rotting core underneath. The producer played every trick in the book, faking injuries and hospital stays just to dodge the payments. But the real scam started after the money was finally sent. He actually asked for it back, claiming a clerical error and promising to resend it from a different account. Obviously, the director didn't fall for it. To wrap things up, we have to talk about the one rumor that's currently setting the internet on fire. It points to the real reason behind the deaths of Yu Menglong and Gao Yixiang, an industry where power is absolute and there's zero accountability. A blogger going by the name Meigong Zhang Tiniu just dropped a bombshell. He exposed a major scandal involving a legendary 5th-generation director, a married man in his late 60 seconds or 70 seconds with countless awards to his name. This director, who runs a production company in Beijing's Xunyi district, is reportedly targeting a female student from the Beijing Film Academy, referred to by the pseudonym Xiao Mei. This director was incredibly bold. He sent his assistant to campus to tell Xiao Mei straight up, "The director likes you and wants you to be his girlfriend." He didn't care about his wife or the fact that Xiao Mei already had a boyfriend. When she initially refused, he didn't back down. Instead, he lured her to his office in Xunyi with promises of superstardom. Worried, Xiao Mei brought a friend along. Once there, they noticed a restricted area in the office rumored to be a place for wild, illicit activities. The director spent 3 hours feeding them empty promises, trying to see how far he could push her boundaries. But Xiao Mei was sharp. She turned the tables and grilled him on exactly what resources he could offer. She quickly realized it was all a scam. He was just a predator looking for a free ride, talking in circles without offering a single solid commitment. In the end, Xiao Mei didn't fall for the trap. After graduation, she married into a wealthy family and walked away from the entertainment industry for good. Even though the leak didn't name names, the clue's 5th-generation director, Shunyi-based company, and in his 60 seconds or 70 seconds were enough for netizens to start pointing fingers. The speculation is rampant, with many guessing the figure could be none other than Zhang Yimou or Chen Kaige. Regardless of who they really were, this story exposes a dark reality. To those at the top who control the resources, young actors and students are nothing more than prey. When power is used to trample on human dignity at will, how can an environment like this ever be untainted? Yu Menglong may have lost his life simply because he refused to take part in those deals, or perhaps something even more sinister. After everything we've discussed, it's hard not to feel a heavy heart. Throughout 2025, we've seen too many goodbyes and too many lies, revealing an industry that is rotting from the inside out. The mystery surrounding Yu Menglong's death, the list of 17, and the chilling rumors of nerve agents still hangs over us like a dark cloud. We keep bringing up Gao Yixiang's tragedy because that same blatant disregard for human life still exists today. It's a world of extremes. At the bottom, small-time actors and crew members are forced to beg for their wages just to survive. Meanwhile, at the top, the elites treat their power like a playground for dirty deals. The glamour is fading, leaving behind nothing but the ugly truth. A spiritual medium recently claimed that Yu Menglong's spirit is growing stronger, and that he is now standing at the very forefront of the forces of light. Whether you believe in the metaphysical or not, I personally want to hold on to the meaning behind those words. The truth cannot stay buried forever. To Yu Menglong's fans, I want to say this: your persistence matters. We might not be able to take down these giants just yet, but every share, every question asked, and every refusal to let his memory fade is building the momentum we need for the truth to finally come to light. Thank you for watching until the very end, because if you're still watching this, maybe you're looking for the same thing I am.